Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we need to talk about something that's been making waves online, something that's honestly peeled back the mask on how a lot of our white folks really thinks, even those who've been calling themselves allies. It all started with that palm color woman who shamelessly called a black child that word, disgusting, yes. But what happened next is where things got even more revealing. So another palm color woman came online to talk about the incident, but instead of condemning the racism, she pivoted. She started talking about white folks experiencing what she called black fatigue. Now hear me out, black fatigue is a very real thing, but not in the way these people are trying to spin it. It's actually the title of a powerful book by Mary Frances Winters, Black Fatigue, How Racism Erodes the Mind, Body and Spirit. That title alone tells you everything you need to know. It's about the lived experience of black people, the toll racism takes on our health, our peace and our spirit. So when I hear palm color folks are using the term to describe their own discomfort with being held accountable, it sounds a whole lot like colonization again. They've taken a term that speaks to black pain and flipped it to center themselves. Suddenly they are the tired ones. It doesn't work that way. Black fatigue was never meant to describe white folks getting tired of being called out. It's about black people being exhausted from centuries of dismissed and disrespected. Anyway, I've put a few clips for you guys from TikTok that I want you guys to watch. I don't want to spoil this for you, so let's watch these clips together. I'm gonna come back at the end of this video, to give my own 2 cents. Let's watch this.
The woman who called a 5-year-old a racial slur. My first impression after watching the video, a little bit of white trash. I have to be honest, the kid was 5. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket. They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense. A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them. Ask any kindergarten teacher. But I realize why so many people are wanting to defend this, because black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman. But what she did is not praiseworthy. But also on the same hand, please remember that every day that us white people get on this app, we get called racial slurs every single day. So if you don't want to be called a racial slur, you also have to stop calling people racial slurs. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. But for the love of God, please leave the children out of it. Adults are stupid. They're going to do stupid things. But you're a different level of stupid when you bring kids into it. Thanks for coming to my TED.
They're calling it black fatigue, but what you really mean is I'm tired of loving wounded black people. You can just say that part with your chest. That's what you wanted to say. You're not tired because we're toxic. You're tired because your love had conditions. Yours. You didn't come to heal, you came to curate. You came to save a version of black society that was already fixed and no one praised you for it. And when we didn't perform your healing fantasy, you called it draining. This archetype always shows up during collapse, the one that confuses proximity with pain and with proof that they're better than it. Right, they have proof that they're better than it. That's how they see it, right? But you have to understand that you're not above the wound just because you narrate it from a distance. You're just protecting your image in the mirror while the rest of us are still trying to stitch it back together. You didn't transcend us. You abandoned us. Real black love doesn't tap out when it gets loud. It doesn't leave when the wounds resurface. It metabolizes. It listens longer. It doesn't call the hood low vibrational just because it got a better apartment. Love doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. And some of y'all don't have love for us, and that's cool. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's cool, but I need you to know that the left is something you can get over. You could, right? And if you really tired, rest, right? If you're actually tired, but don't call that healing. That's retreat, because this ain't fatigue. It's spiritual gentrification we're watching, and these are spiritually gentrified people. You're not leaving because you're broken. You're leaving because our brokenness didn't fit your aesthetic anymore. And I need you to hear me clearly. We are not your inconvenience. Okay, we're not. We are your mirror, and if you truly heal, you'll still be here with us, not above us, right? So I get it, right? This is one thing I think is absolutely true. You do not have to like every black space, but don't ever use fatigue as an excuse to stop loving the ones who never had that option to leave. Just stupid shit. I wanted to tell a joke in this video, but these people upset me a lot.
Let me tell y'all what black fatigue really is. Black fatigue is the experience that black people have in America or around the world being black. Like, that is what it is. As a white person, you cannot say you have black fatigue. That is literally not possible. What you mean is you are tired of black people. That's really what you want to say. Not that you have black fatigue. You just tired of black people. And that's okay, because on this side of the aisle, I'm just as tired of y'all bitches as y'all are tired of me. It's just interesting. You say you see all the ghetto stuff in the airport, but every single thing that black people do, at some point, white people do it. At some point, y'all gonna do it. If it's the bonnet, at some point, y'all gonna do it. The number of bonnets I've seen on social media when I was told my whole life growing up, having a bonnet on is literally inappropriate outside. But now it's just a fashion choice for white people, but it was ghetto when we did it. Oh, but it's protective for you. It has a purpose for you. If we're gonna use terms incorrectly, I have white fatigue. I'm tired of y'all enslaving people. I'm tired of you guys not giving a fuck about other people. I'm tired of you guys interning people. I'm tired of you guys taking away land from other people. I'm tired of you guys murdering people. I'm tired of you guys going into schools and shooting up children. I'm tired of you guys murdering your wives because you just don't want to divorce them. I'm tired.
Black fatigue? This is where we at now? Imagine how we feel. Y'all even colonize that. Like, black fatigue is not what y'all created it to be. It was the fatigue of black people having to exist in this country and dealing with all y'all dumb shit. We were tired, not y'all. Imagine telling the internet that you're tired of all the ghetto-ness and the ratchetness and all of the fights when y'all are quite literally the godfathers of violence in this country. And then all the ghetto and ratchet speak. Your kids are emulating exactly what we say and calling it Gen Alpha and Gen Z speak when it was just AAVE repackaged to be palatable for white people. What are we talking? Like, y'all are quite literally exhausting. But like, 8.5 by 11s are gonna do this all the time. I'm not worried about the hueless. However, the black people getting on and co-signing the black fatigue to make white people feel better could not be me. Imagine agreeing with white people when they aren't even picking you. Super weird. But like, sure, being held accountable for your racist ideology. If I were white and I had to constantly hear that black people are right and then it proves out and you're sitting there being mad, yeah, I'd be mad too. I too would be annoyed if I were half the age of black women but looked twice as old as them. Yeah, I'd be pissed too. So like, hold your black fatigue and raise yourself some accountability. Because oof. Happy Monday, y'all. Black fatigue, shut up.
Shouts out to the CIA for the black fatigue thing they put on the internet. CIA is doing a hell of a job. DI didn't work because white women benefit from that. This black fatigue is not gonna work because as a truck driver, I got white fatigue. I go all over this country and I see nothing but white people. And then I get on the internet and white people complaining like somebody taking their land that they stole from. None of that's happening. That's why I'm suffering from white fatigue. I'm tired of it. No one's stealing your shit that you stole. Calm down.
Black fatigue. That's the new DEI term that y'all done took and made it into a slur for black people. Let me tell you something. We have white fatigue. We are sick of you white people and your racism and bigotry and your hatred for other human beings that you don't know. Because you don't know every black person, just like we don't know every white person. You don't know us. We don't know you. Why are we living rent-free in your fucking heads? Why can't you leave us alone? And now I'm talking about throughout history. Once your people couldn't own us no more, the hatred because you wanted to use our bodies like they was fucking fun amusement parks. And you want us to be quiet and shut up about what has transpired to us due to you all. We sick and tired of it. We sick and tired of your bigotry. We sick and tired of your hate. We sick and tired of your oppression of people. We sick and tired of you trying to hold us back. We sick and tired of you talking about us. We sick and tired of you coming in our spaces and trying to co-opt our culture and everything we do. We are not like you. You are not like us. We don't want to be the same. Leave us the fuck alone. Stay over there. We'll stay over here and everything will be fine. Why do you keep bothering us? Why? We have white fatigue. We sick of you. leave us alone and go eat your bland ass chicken.
App just now to see that the word black fatigue is trending amongst a lot of different people. And before I made this video, I scrolled on it and I said, let me see what people are talking about.
Because black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, hoodrattery, animalistic. This is why people have black fatigue. I'm sick and tired of opening up TikTok and seeing brawls on cruise ships, brawls in the airport, like literally the most ghetto behavior. We're tired.
A white woman was talking about Shiloh Hendricks, the lady that called the 5-year-old the N-word. And she said, that shouldn't have happened, but people have black fatigue. People are tired of ghetto-ness, loudness. People are just tired of black people. So we all have fatigue. And it got me thinking, I've heard the phrase black fatigue before, and I know in my heart of hearts that that relates to the fatigue that black people experience existing in this country and around the world, dealing with racism and prejudices that have been put on us due to the history of violence, Jim Crow, segregation. So how are white people appropriating black fatigue? They replaced DEI with black fatigue. And you guys are using that because you're tired of being held accountable for things that you should be held accountable for in this country, and you want to be openly racist to us. This entire discourse is rooted in racism. You want to be able to say you're tired of black people for having a voice. You're tired of us for existing in spaces we exist in. You're tired of us for not all being poor. You're tired of the fact that some of us are doing better than you, but when we live in a country that is based on racism and systematic racism that still exists today, you can't be mad that we're calling you out for it. What the fuck are we talking about? America is a country that suffers from delusion, lack of education, and basically exists in a consistent state of dementia, because the cognitive dissonance that many white people have that exist in this country it alarms me. The fact that this country was founded and predicated on owning bodies and killing off natives. That is the foundation story of this country. Yes, we became one of the most successful countries in the world, but that is the heart and soul of this country. It is rooted in racism. The Declaration of Independence was rooted in racism. The Constitution was written with racism. So the fact that you think you can exist, and we're only out of segregation for how many years now? Not even a generation, not even 2 generations out of segregation. The fact that you think you can exist without racism internally inside of you is crazy. It's crazy. We're all racist. Everybody that exists out of a racist system is racist, especially if you are the one that benefited from said racism. You have to do a lot of unlearning, unpacking, and re-educating yourself onto what racism means, because you guys hear the word racism, you're like, I'm not racist, I have black friends. It doesn't mean you're going out with crosses on fire. There are levels to the internalized racism, the internalized biases versus violent, aggressive racism. But racism is the foundation of America. So the fact that you don't want to hear about it is not my problem. The funniest thing about white people in this country is that the lack of education that they have on their own history and how they've been all sold a lie and socialized to believe that they're here and we're violent and they're not is fucking crazy. You ever seen a redneck? You ever been to a trailer park? You ever seen a meth addict in New Mexico? That all of the people on welfare in this country are white. 96% of them are white. But meanwhile, black people are poor, uneducated, animalistic, violent. All the list goes on. Your ancestors literally killed off millions of people who are on this land, stole it, raped, robbed, killed them, stole us, raped, robbed, killed us, procreated with us, and made us procreate with each other and our families. Yet the list goes on. The only people who are sick with animalistic practices are you and your ancestors. Upon further review, after seeing 5 or 6 black people make this black fatigue video, it got me thinking into the respectability politics of this type of video they're making, because not only are they generalizing the actions of all black people and lumping us into one group, you are policing the actions of people per the standardized or acceptable behavior that white people are saying that we should have. Interesting. What you're doing by making these videos is you're allowing white people to not take accountability and not hold themselves to a standard that they can just be racist and prejudiced towards us and say that their behaviors are acceptable and their way of life and living is acceptable in this country, but ours isn't. It's really befuddling me that you as a black person can go online with your chest and say you have black fatigue because everybody's ghetto, or you have black fatigue because everybody's loud. That's not the fucking case. And even if you are, quote unquote, this highly educated, highly classy black person, you're still loud. You still have an auntie who looks like the person you're talking about. You still have cousins who are the people you're talking about. So why make this video? I will never understand black people that pander to white people. I will never. There's nothing in my being that would ever allow me to have an internal conversation externally on this app. So white people feel comfortable saying how they feel about us in the open and make it a whole thing. Imagine you are allowing white person to say they have black fatigue. They're tired of black people being victims. They're tired of black people saying racism. They're tired of black people existing. Every day on this app is something new. Y'all gotta do better. Do better.
Black fatigue is the talk of the town right now, and I've already made a video about it, but I feel like my message was lost behind my bonnet because people like to assume things when black women are wearing bonnets. But as always, they're going to take the definition and they're going to flip it and twist it just like they did with the word woke, because woke was used for us to describe how we are becoming more aware of what's actually going on in the community and how we're being suppressed to stay within impoverished circumstances. But to my black content creators, the ones that are in the comments who are agreeing to push this agenda, to push this narrative, who are being gaslit because maybe you make a little over $100,000 a year, maybe $200,000 a year, and you feel like that puts you in a tax bracket to speak against the microaggressions that happen in the black community, I'm talking to you at this point. For y'all to sit up here, jump in the comments, and agree that black people are the most violent race of people in the United States is absolutely asinine. Did you know that 59%, as of now, and you can go look this up, white people, white counterparts, are the most violent group in the United States. However, it is more than likely black people will be arrested for things like violent crimes and murders only because they are black, not because they create more crimes. It's only because they are more than likely to be prosecuted for their crime. Oh, well, it starts in the home. There's more black children who are brought up in poverty and EBT and Section 8 housing, and they're the ones that are causing all the violent crimes. Not true. According to statistics, 50% of white juvenile children have been more violent than 46% compared to the black juvenile children. And you can go look this up. And then we keep hearing the argument about black people in a certain demographic holding up white ideology by living off government assistance, by living off Section 8. National Academy Press determined that 26% of government/welfare assistance is given to black people in America, black individuals, while 23% is given to Hispanics in the United States. Guess how many of the percentage is for white people? It's 46%. 46% of welfare government assistance is given to white individuals. And you might say, well, it's a larger group of white people in the United States, and it's a smaller group comparable. So there's still more than half of the percentage of welfare is going to blacks and going to Hispanics. No, it's the same. It's the same. It still comes out to be the same. So white people are the largest group in the United States that are welfare recipients. So your argument there is extremely flawed. You are creating the perception. You all are perpetuating what black culture is when you're wearing those Louis Vuitton monogram shirts. You're no different. That's why they create them, because they know black people like yourselves who are making $200,000-$300,000 a year love to wear things to show off your level of income. They know that. They know you want to buy those Beyonce tickets. And guess what? They get in the comment section of those videos and they call you the N-word and they say that y'all are using your money wrong and you're not reinvesting. And a lot of you are on this app who are making tons of money. And guess what? You're still on here making tons of money and you're not reinvesting that money. You're not saving it. You're not putting it in an IRA. So you're still perpetuating what their idea of black is, regardless of you not being on government assistance, regardless of you not being on Section 8 housing. They still have a perception of you that fits their narrative of what black looks like. You don't have to be on any government assistance. And by you all jumping in the comments and making videos to support the gaslighting, all you're doing is furthering their narrative. And then they expect us to just let it go. Racism it wouldn't exist if you all would just act right, stop being animalistic and stop being violent. But yet and still we're living under an administration that wants to make America great again. What does that mean though? That means they want to go back to the past. So we can't harp on the past. We can't learn from our past. We can't take into accountability and to consideration, I'm not going to make the same mistakes twice because of what happened in the past, but y'all can do that. Y'all can go back to making America great again. That's what you can do. Also by deporting innocent people to countries they've never lived in. And while we stay here, even though we don't have to face that reality, this is what we are facing. Microaggressions, injustice, extreme racism, extreme gaslighting, and it's working on some of you, as I can see. I'm just trying to say, before you try to paint yourselves to look better than other black people of a certain demographic, understand that regardless of what's in your pocket, regardless of what's in your bank account, regardless of how you're dressed, how you position yourself, they are always going to see you as no more than a Negro. And that's just it.
So let's talk about this. So after watching that video of that palm color woman and the reactions that has followed, it's clearer than ever that some white folks are showing who they are exactly, who they truly are. No more masks, no more fake allyship. That incident wasn't about one palm color racist woman saying that slur to a child. No, 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 no. That cracked open a deeper truth about how many, palm color people, yes, the ones that claim to be woke, progressive, or on black people's side, it has shown how they truly feel when the spotlight of accountability is turned on them. What's even more disturbing is how some of them responded to being called out. Instead of standing in solidarity, they started talking about their own feelings. Like this woman we've watched in this video comes online, flip the whole conversation by saying that palm color people are experiencing something called black fatigue. And let's be real, that phrase is not for you guys to be. I'm talking to the palm color people. Black fatigue is not about white discomfort. It's not about white guilt. It's not about white people being tired of hearing about racism. Black fatigue is about the mental, physical and spiritual exhaustion that black people experience as a result of racism day after day, year after year, generation after generation. It's the title of a powerful book by Mary Frances Winters. I think I displayed the cover of that book at the beginning of this video. I hope you didn't miss it. Black fatigue, how racism erodes the mind, body, and spirit. That's what it means, and that alone is it explains itself. Okay, that's what was written to address. It's for black people. It is written in black people's struggle, their pain, their resilience, our resilience, not frustration at being called out for contributing or remaining silent about palm color supremacy. So for what's wrong with me now? So for white folks to now try and colonize that term or twist it into something about their emotional labor, that's beyond insulting. It's gaslighting. It's a deflection, plain and simple. Because let's get one thing straight. What we're witnessing isn't black fatigue. It's accountability. I don't know why I have a problem pronouncing that word. Accountability fatigue. And there's a difference. White folks are tired of being made to look into the mirror. They're tired of hearing about palm color privilege. They are tired of confronting brutal legacy of their ancestors, and they are raw in continuing that legacy today. They want to skip that work, the discomfort, the reparative action, and just move on. But that's not how things work. You don't get to be complicit in generational harm and throw your hands up and say, well, I'm tired of feeling bad about it. Well, too bad. White guilt. Yeah, you should feel some type of way, because that guilt is a sign that your conscience still works, and instead of running from it or trying to silence black voices so you don't have to feel it anymore, try sitting with it. Learn from it better, because guilt without action is just a performative noise. And trying to silence black people who are finally speaking up with strength and clarity, that's not allyship. That's oppression in disguise. See, what's really happening here is that many palm color folks are uncomfortable with the fact that black people are no longer asking for a seat in the table. Black people are standing up for themselves. They're being in charge. We are taking it. We are speaking our truth boldly. We are calling out our racism as we see it. We are not pretending anymore. We are refusing to shrink ourselves to make others feel comfortable. And that boldness, that refusal to play along with the old rules, that's what's making them uncomfortable. That's what they are, calling black fatigue. But again, let me be crystal clear. What you're feeling isn't about us. It's about you. White people are tired of being reminded that this country was built on stolen land, and that on the backs of enslaved people, tired of being reminded that generational wealth and access didn't fall out of the sky. It was taken violently, systematically. And now because black folks are standing taller, speaking louder, and refusing to play nice about the truth, suddenly they're the problem. Absolutely not. So no, you don't get to rewrite the meaning of black fatigue. You don't get to hijack the term born of real generational pain just because it's inconvenience for you. What you're really mad about is that the old rules aren't working anymore. That's the guilt that you feel, that is comfort. That's the price of truth. That's the cost of history finally being spoken out loud without filtered apologies. Yeah, I think I've spoken too much. I'm even running out of breath. Yeah. So I'm handling this table to you guys, my viewers. What do you think about this? What do you think about this entire video? Please know about this in the comment section down below. Yeah, let me know. And whatever, I think I've left out something. Let me just look at my notes. Yeah, I left out this part. Let me tell you something. Peace is hard to come by when injustice is still alive and thriving. All of us who have to navigate this world in black skin, peace is not just hard, it's damn near revolutionary. So when we talk about being tired, it's not because we are overreacting, it's because we've had to carry the burden of our regime while also trying to be gracious about it. Those days are done completely. Bye-bye. And to the white folks that are watching, if you're feeling fatigued, take a moment to really examine why. Because what's truly exhausting is fighting to be seen, respected, and treated as a human in a world that constantly denies our worth. You don't get to flip that narrative to make yourselves victims. Not today, not in this world, not ever. So yeah, this whole situation with Shiloh Hendricks, the mother who called that black child that word, it didn't just shine a light on one woman's regime, it pushed a mirror to an entire system, and the many people with it who have been pretending to be allies while quietly maintaining the status quo. Just admit it. What you're really not used to is black people standing up for themselves without asking for permission, and you don't like that, but guess what? You're going to have to get used to it. I think I'm done now. Yeah, so that's what I've got for you today. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section down below. I want to hear your thoughts, your reactions, and yeah, feel free to flood my comment section. Stay peaceful. I'll see you in my next video.